Welcome to Kilombo TV. We are live and sibuyile siphethe indaba ezilungileyo ezilungileyo. We welcome you from wherever you're watching us. Ngokuhlanje ke sihleli no Mrs. Zimkitha Zilo simteketisa sithi ngu Zim ntombi yakwa Macengulashe from Welcome Zim, siyakwamkela ku Kilombo TV.
Manbulele.
Yes, you look beautiful.
Gossip, thank you.
Badla ngokuthi you are on flick.
Akudala
ngoku
Yes, no, I'm living the soft life.
You're beautiful.
Yes.
You ne colors, there's names, Zim.
Glow.
Glow. Yeah, welcome Zim. I'm excited. It's another conversation. You and I come a long way.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. You joined Way of Life Church in the year 2013. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, 2015.
2015.
2015, yes.
Just a year before the Big Bang. Let's call it the Big Bang. Just a year before the Big Bang. But I have a sense in the Obasa Sevenze Kunye for such a lead.
Longer than that.
All right. Zim, you came here with your family. You must be very influential in your family. Londo uyenzayo apho uyakhona bayalandela. Very gifted, extremely gifted. Wadla ngothi undumi ethetha ngawe athi you have an executive mind. Xa unikwe into uyajikajika uyiphonononge xa uyibuyisa seyingeyiyo lana ngexesha yonakele. But most times you improve it. Most times you upgrade it. Zim, you made me look good. I mean, you worked as my PA for, is it 2 years or 3 years?
It's 4.
4 years.
4 years, yes.
And made me look so good, so good. You professionalized our work here. And so today we're going to talk about your experience as a member of Way of Life, but somebody who transitioned with us to Kilombo. Mm-hmm. And you will also share that experience, yes, Kilombo as well. In fact, I'm surprised that you were able to make the leap with us, given your church background. I mean, is it AFM? Apostolic Faith Mission,
yes.
Which happens to be the oldest charismatic church, Pentecostal church in South Africa. Over 100 years. So abantu baphuma AFM, if bine colors AFM, this is out, your blood is
blue. Our blood is blue. Nazi colors is blue, red and white.
Yeah, blue, red. Okay.
Yes, we are blue.
So, but you made the leap, Zim. So let's start from the scratch. You walked into this church, a night and day. I mean, nothing near, nothing close to AFM, your Way of Life when you came in. Talk to us about your early days, a Way of Life. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Nkosi Mfundisi, thank you for having me at Kilombo TV. This is really exciting for me too. Way of Life, Way of Life, I've always been an employee. I maintain that I've always been an employee. I've never been a church member fully. Because if you remember, I would yayiqala ngo-9 apha iphele ngo-12. Yes, then go-12 and I would go to my church. Yes. After ndigqibile ukloka out emsebenzini esipani. Yokhonza ke ngoku.
I'm so disappointed ke nguzim. Ndandiba uyakhonza ngala xesha.
I was working at the time. That's why when you called us to say that way of life is taking a shape, ifikile ngoku kwi-mountain peak, it's becoming Kilombo. If you remember a conversation I said, I do not know anything else other than church. I grew up in church, abantwana basekhaya bakhulisa ngecawe, and if I do something else, endingayaziyo, something that I don't know what would that mean kubo, what would it mean with values and their characters. What if my move would make them? Because I always felt the church is the only thing that kept us back. Asizunqila, asizuziphatha kakubi because siyakhonza. So yes, for me it was like, I do not know anything else. But as your PA, as someone who looks up to you and who respects you, I will journey with you on this one, but I'll still continue to church. The leap happened, I think 4 months later. I would think 4 months later. I would go to church, come back, and do, because Kilombo was starting in the afternoons as well. It didn't start at 10 like the church. It started at 12. So the sessions, the Kilombo would start at 12, and during the week we would work throughout marketing, whatever session is going to be happening, communicating, inviting people, and doing all of that. In fact, doing all the bidding for the way Kilombo. And then on Sunday morning I would go to church, come back, and strategize, and then the sessions would happen. But ezinye izinto they are more spiritual than they are just able to explain. I cannot even to myself explain how the transition happened for me, because I was in a bus this year. Remember when I went to study for 6 months? So it was during that time when I went to study. So I was in a bus going to Belleville, because I was Belleville training to Huguenot College. So in a bus, I'm listening to music, and then and then there was a song. I think it's from a movie, Long Walk to Freedom, Kamandela. It's a song from that, and then Huyaruna. We are the ones that are going, the courageous ones are the ones that are going forward. Somehow, like, I always feel like that's along of sorts. I was so into really, like, and I cannot really explain it. That's why for me, it's spiritual. For me, it's spiritual. I knew I cannot be on the fence anymore, because I did not understand the role of the church. Like we had issues, there were things happening. Women were getting killed at the time. And I would go to church, and would get to church. Life would happen, like the normal church service would happen, as if like there is no crisis.
There's no crisis.
There is no crisis. Not a state of crisis as people. People would be homeless, floods and everything. And I would get to church, and it would be business as usual. And then I would get to Kilombo, and these people feel. Like about Kilombo, people understood. Economic crisis, we are in crisis, something needs to be done. People would always lament, like lamentation. So for me, that moment, I listened to that song for 2 weeks on repeat, non-stop, non-stop. And
we are the courageous ones who are going forward.
Like, I kept listening to it, and I was like, really, like, I need to make a choice up. Do I continue? Do I become really courageous and teach about this is what I'm standing for? And then, as I was listening to the song, where she was talking about, it was Women's Month, I think, and she was talking about...
this is August 2015?
This is August 2015, yes. And she was talking about Moses and being, she was saying people need, like, she was explaining black consciousness and how it fits. And she said Moses was Hebrew conscious. Moses knew into kokuba abantu Hebrews are his people, and loyalties zakhe nazo zonke into zakhe, even though ehlala kwaFaro, loyalties zakhe are with black people, and at some point are with Hebrews, and at some point Moses had to make a choice about uyayishiya ipalace and be with his people. So I was like, I'm leaving the comfort zone, the understanding that xa ndifike ezulwini, things will be fine, because azikho fine ngoku. How is it that God did not choose us as Israelites, singabantu abamnyama? How is it that this is happening? So, yeah, I was like...
Zimkitha, can you see this story, by the way?
Yeah.
That you had that moment.
Yeah.
You had that...
we called it something.
Damascus moment.
Damascus
Yeah, I was looking
moment.
for that. You had that
Damascus
Damascus.
moment.
I did not know that. Yakubona xa ukhona khona ndibhekayo nanguzimu lapha.
Icawe kaZimu.
Icawe kaZimu, uZimu akasayicaweni, what's going on here, you know?
That was that Damascus moment. That was that Damascus moment I had. And yeah, then there was no going back. There was no going back. And Sabalap, we were here.
Wavuswa ekuseni ke ngoku ngabantu ongabaziyo befuna izitixo because Kilombo has become a home for runaway slaves.
Yes, that was Fees Must Fall times.
2016, 2017, yeah.
Those were the times. Yay! What is it? In fact, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Kilombo, I think for me it was. This is my understanding of it. It was built on student politics, because when the transition happened,
it was overtaken by
that. Yes, it was overtaken really.
It was overtaken by student politics.
Yes, because when that happened, when the transition, while we were still transitioning, Fees Must Fall, and Kilombo had already established itself as a place for runaway slaves. So students at the time were under siege.
Yeah.
Black students, in fact, not just students, black students were under siege at the time, and the only place they felt safe was Kilombo. So I wasn't holding keys at the time, but yeah, obviously I'm a Kilombian, so people knew that I was a Kilombian. And at 2 o'clock, I think I remember, and we wanted blankets for students and stuff. So okay, that twabaza ngobusuku. Like okay, go usebenzela wena must go 9 to 5. No, there's no 9 to 5.
Don't clock in and clock out.
If now we because 2 o'clock an idea might be here. So it was normal into about go to kungeni call. It wasn't like okay, all right. So we bring blankets, and then students are here. We are hiding. In fact, they were hidden because kebabefunwa and babefuna into engekhoyo, so ke justified ekubafihleni, justified ekubafihleni because into engekhoyo.
Justified ekubafihleni.
Yeah, ekugqibeleni futhi.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, I think it was a Saturday morning ke ngoku when the police came. They babeseklisha was around Kilombo mostly. So nasendlini it used to happen, and then bajikeleza, then there was a car standing ngapha kwendlela. Someone came out of the car, where's endlini, started knocking. It was very early hours. Now kwakungo 4 or so. Not kubani. Sifuna izitixo zaseKilombo. What for? Andinazitixo, andisebenzi Kilombo. So knock persista, and then abantu ke siyapanic endlini because kwenzeka ntoni, and once now that into ineKilombo phakathi, people andiyazi noba no asasi paranoid or what, but you knew into kokuba indaweni abantu iyazibina abantu abamnyama. I mean, police would just come in during the day, sihlele office come in and just come bazocheckisha nje bakwenzeka ntoni asenza ntoni. So iKilombo xa ifikele endlini ke ngoku ngo-4 you're thinking, okay, fine, mandivule ke, what happens because bayangxola ngoku and neighbors bazawuvuka, so ndavula sifuna izitixo zaseKilombo. No, andiphathi izitixo. Kukho bani eKilombo, akukho mntu kutixiwe. I-alarm is not armed, so why did you not arm the alarm? And your security, I do not know. And I know into kukho abantu abalapha. So okay, mandizonokha mna because babone abantu when they were passing, but nidlule ningobani nina, ningobani, who are you?
And babe uniform?
No, police. Amapolice were just doing circles.
So babe civilian clothing.
So civilian clothes bona nemoto yabo ndibakrobe efesteni sebehamba. No, it's just it was ipolo ethile. So, but andikwazi uyonqonqoza eKilombo ndivulele into engekhoyo. Okay, fine. Yaba yiloo nto ke ka up and down ke nami sendiba nomsindo ke ngokuba nindivusela into engekhoyo, and ke akho valo because akho mntu unagana akho mnantoni, and they are not threatening, but obviously bafuna uba nice in a way, phinde kube nice into yoba no, sifuna uqiniseka uba iKilombo nifuna uqiniseka uba iKilombo isafe, ningobani? Ndim umntu waseKilombo, ndiyabazi abantu baseKilombo, ningobani? And but eventually they left. But ke ngoku it would happen regularly into yoba uba uyaphangela kukho imoto that is standing somewhere ejongileyo and kwakungekho comfortable ke ukuyoyika uziyazi noba kwenzeka ntoni na. But there was a time when someone called to say uthunywe nguwe, I need to come and open. Did umfundisi soze afonise omnye umuntu under any circumstances ungubani wena? Ungumuntu ongusisi, and it was a lady who appeared to understand usuka uzokwenza interview nawe, need to come open for her, akabe zifamiliarize nespace and all of that. Still into ezithixo that I do not have. I'm like, I don't have keys, I can't open for you. So mandize ke ndizodibana naye apha. The fact that ndahlala kufutshane yani yandibeke riskini like njengazayo kwenzeke. I'm like, I can't come up, umfundisi makafone. Okay, fine, if we are theta ndayifone, it makandifonele. Yes, it makandifonele to arrange yonke lento, and then obviously ke uzawuthula umuntu emva koko angabuyeli kuwe again.
I got a similar call, a strange call, somebody from Durban, and they wanted to put money. They wanted the bank details, the Kilombo. And they were saying, we want to support and put money in your account. Uningobani, twaka. And we want,
I remember seeing Googlisha trying to get, they gave a funny name. I think it was a pseudo name then. We tried to follow that. Strange times.
Strange times. So we survived that, but wounded. Wounded. I lost my job, Air Force in that period, as the chaplain.
As chairperson of the Western Cape.
Well, I resigned there voluntarily, but I look back, 5 years or whatever years later, and I think those were the proudest moments when we believed in something and gave ourselves to it. Yes. But the transition has not been easy. For me, I do not know for others. I'm not sure for you, Zim. Foundation yabo bisenkonzweni. Our moral compass was there. Right and wrong. Life was black and white. There was nothing in between. No gray areas. And suddenly there was this huge gray area.
Shades of gray.
Shades of gray. And you put to question about you know. Did you go through that experience? Well, I did.
No, I did. But I never felt that I missed out on anything gonga cons. Most of the decisions, when my parents passed, most of the decisions in Andizenza, as much as the church was the moral code, some of them were just personal reasons, like gray areas of navigating life. So I would say, kungona ndilapho ngoku. So I would think at the time really I was scared for about his siblings, and they were like, no, Kilombo yako, we are going to come help, send the London Kilombo, but even now they still church, even now like and they like right, they are fine with that. And I think like Kilombo mna yandenza nangabi understand but ndingumntu. First ndingumntu like andiyazi as a Christian with religion you are a person but ubomi bakho ayibo bakho. As much as iBhayibhile izawuthetha ngento ze will, God gave you willpower, you need to decide for yourself what is right and wrong. You don't decide. You do not decide in a religious space. Like that you have to follow. Whether you know, but whether you feel right or you feel wrong, that's really not necessary. That's not relevant. No one cares about that. So
umzalwane
unje nanku umzalwane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me not go there. Let me not go there. Okay, I must share this because
share this one.
So, lotata usindisiwe isisuthu xa usindisiwe sithi umuphuluswa. So they were always like ridiculed for that because banxiba ibhatyi banentshebe bayaziwa. So uthi ke ngoku ndithe ndihamba endleleni bathi abamama ndabava besithi umpuluswa ndaqonda igazi likaThixo lindihlabile. And we understood thina umuphuluswa. Oh, umuphuluswa. Like abantu were ridiculing him, but uye ndimpuluswa.
Yeah, it confirma ukuthi ndihamba indoda.
Umzalwane bempuluswa.
Wambathe igazi.
Yabo umzalwane umpuluswa umo wakhe. So but when I andiyazi zange ndithi Thixo ndiyakulahla njengawe ke ndibhala istatement ezikhulu. Hayi eyam nje was like it was a personal conviction.
I have a big mouth, and I had a big mouth for those years. I couldn't leave, get back door.
Yes.
I think I owed it to you and others. Ukuthi ake lapha ngoku.
Apha ngoku apho ndikhoyo glass house okwa glass house ethile nje. Yes. So but I realized into yoba hayi mani ndingumntu and I need to live life. Ubomi bukhona bufuna uphilwa like
asikho sisigebengo wikiswa.
Hayi man ayikho man le nto icasa bitshisa ibunzi apha ngaphandle. Ayikho. So I started being a person ndaba ngumntu ndafika into ezithile ngam and okay ndingumntu onjena like I had to ask myself questions and yoba ndifila kanjani xa ndenze into ethile ndizimamele ndizive ke ukuba ndifila bad ndinesazela ndifila into yoba ndifuna uxolelwa ngumntu othile ndifuna uthini no hayi yidecision endenze ngokwam irayithi and then uba ngaba bangiherile I got hurt. Okay. I mean, ezinye decisions kaloku uyazenza and then bawuhere. After bewuhere, you're like, you heal yourself. But awusenayo laa nto ngoku yoba kukho le nto ithile.
Abazalwane ke zimbakujongile balindele ukubona ku-Xola 99.
Bakugade.
Akukabonakali phaya, akaveli phaya, kuleqwe nge-cameras and so.
Andikafikeleli
kula level.
Kayi yenye level leya no. Yazi ke mfundisi yabona xa umenshina le nto yoba abazali balinde ukubona yes kulindiwe
ulindelo uzawuphalala ngaphandle koyesu
kulindelwe impalalo yakho esithi ubani lamphuma ku-ANC esithi it's cold outside. Yes. Kulindelwe into yoba ukungagodolelwa bubomi. So when you are doing it laa nto like njengoba nje wena ufila into yoba uyazi intoni ndiyazifigurisha out as a person and then I'm making moves for myself. Ithi laa nto usathane uyakuloba like abantu bazalwane bakho xa into yoba usathane uyakuloba usayenza ingathi intle le nto uzawuzibona iziphumo zayo yebe ndazindiziboneni iziphumo zayo. I mean sendizawuvele ndife ngoku nje ezulwini ndawuze ndiziboneni iziphumo zayo but ke sisalindele ubona iziphumo zokuphalala kwethu ngokudicida uthatha inxeba labantu abamnyama silenze lethu uthatha intlungu yabantu abamnyama siyive siyi-internalize uyive kuwe. You know, just to share, Ilendo, Ukarabo was killed. So I went to church in the morning. I was still churching. So I went to church in the morning. Kilombo was organizing, Mrs. K was heading that thing, was organizing memorial, yes, a day of mourning.
Day of mourning,
yes. A day of mourning, and women were going to come and gather here. So I extend my invitation to my church, Sabanalendo. But what shocked me was that I get to church, the whole country is in mourning, the whole country, I believe, I get to church, it's business as usual. So I'm like, okay, so I can say announcements as a church member, the board pillar.
Hey, son.
Yes, leadership.
Yeah.
So the announcement, aware. Okay, yes, that's the announcement. But there's also an announcement, Ukarabo uchisiwe. Ukarabo uchisiwe. And then noba nasi funeka sinyusa umthandazo uThixo amamkele ezulwini lakhe okanye funeka kwenziwe ntona, but I feel ba icawe ivele yathula. Nivele nathula bazalwane and akho nto niyithethayo ngokutshiswa kakarabo. Everyone else is saying something. Everyone else out there is saying something other than the church. And for him, yenye nje izinto yabantu into yoba
wakhupha emoyeni abazalwane.
of course like yo uZim ke nezanto zakhe yaseKilombo uZim nezanto zakhe zikamfundisi uSikhosana kwakuvele kutsho nje hayi izinto zikamfundisi uSikhosana abengayimandi nje eKilombo yes into zikamfundisi uSikhosana ke ngoku but I was like hayi and it does not make sense for me ndicela umuntu othile athandaze like umthandazo or specifically for uKarabo because umthandazo endinawo ngokuthi Thixo ndinomsindo Thixo ndikhathazekile andinawo omnye ongapha kwawo inhliziyo yami irazikile andiku-understand so ndicela umuntu okwaziyo uthetha noThixo kakuhle am-addresse azame u-understand azame ukwenza uba ndi-understand into yoba uKarabo kwenzeke ntoni kuye
Make sense of this horrific senseless
lena icawe ingayiboni uba iyingxaki lena icawe ifile into yoba no siye ezulwini apho siyakhona izinto zotshaka abantu emhlabeni izinto zasemhlabeni esingangeni ndawo kuzo thina that we should not bother ourselves with we should bother ourselves njengokulungiselela imiphefumulo yethu so that when we die we get to heaven that stopped making sense for me ke ngoku and then I got to Kilombo wonke umuntu olapha wonke umuntu olapha understands lento you don't even need to explain it you don't even need uba umbuzi into yoba uziva njani uyayibona intlungu yakho uyibona reflected on this person and if ke ngoku that happened with uKarabo I was sure into yoba uba ngaba ndinentlungu they feel it they understand it and abazuyi
I think Zim uchaphazela into ebalulekileyo apha ye-consciousness. I think what I'm learning now and maybe reminded of the conversation yam now is that uyakwazi uphila ube absent-minded. Ungabi conscious of yourself, of your surroundings, of your people, of your story, and yet uphile and yenze sense way life, you know? Because I think what really you are explaining to us today is that ubomi benkolo yobuKrestu is another consciousness. You are conscious of another world, but not of your real world.
You are not present.
You're not present.
Awukho present, awukho apha. You are not here.
Obiweyo, thinjiweyo, you are gone.
Yeah.
Well.
And then I cannot do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. Ndicela nje uba ndihlale and ndibe seKilombo. If Kilombo ayikho, let me just be a person. Mandibe ngumuntu.
Be yourself.
Mandibe ngumuntu.
Buzwe i-question apha phakathi evekini ngomnye umfo on social media. Lasithi konye zezi posts zam ku social media uthi so Xola, what have you become now since you left the church? And I thought to myself, and then they responded going, Daddy, this is both funny and it's funny on the one hand, you know, but also it's also interesting because it's built with foundation, the assumption that I'm not complete by myself. I must become something. I must leave myself to become something else. I can't celebrate who I am. You know, they're short, not enough. You know, ngaxesha ndandibizwa ngegama ekhaya uba ndinguXola Skosana. That was not complete. I still needed to become something else. That ndingunyana kanobomvu nonzimeni. That ndingumhlangu novapha umntungwa. That story is not complete. So and le nto yokuphuka okanye yokuwa ngoba kuthiwa abantu abanjengathi siwile because kuyabonakala ikhona nto besiyikhwele sigwencele.
Great fall.
So you will never fall from yourself because you will always be yourself.
Uzoba nguwe and you will learn. So I was born by okay, this did not work. Okay, I call right for nale. Uyazenzela ezi decisions ngokwakho unguwe. So ndaba ngumuntu. Aqonda ngumuntu manyana.
And Zim, you are not that you were not, but you are pretty and beautiful. more
umntu.
as umntu. Take bingo, velile, you know, fihlwanga, there's a ways it's our manzim.
Yes, ways the choice ndenze uba ndigqobhoze ndina 38. I celebrated that because
Velile Zim,
hayi mandikubulelela uthende Mrs.
Miss, did I Mrs.? I'm so sorry, Zim. You are available.
Please.
Zimkitha, Zilo. Zim, you are such a profound woman. I mean, you are busy now with your studies. You know, much later, you would have wanted to do this, pursue this. I think ngenye izinto endicinga uba inkolo iyakwazi ukumba umuntu, you know, and imlibazise kwezinye izinto because ingqondo yakho isezulwini and uzithatha kancinci izinto zalapha and you think the laws of nature don't apply to you. Xa kunetha kuba ungumzalwana uzunethela, xa ukho ilanga, xa you know, xa kucinezelwa abantu bakho awuzucinezelwa wena. You don't think those laws apply to you. And you see this kubantu abaninzi abalibazisekileyo kwinto ye-personal development, career development. I know that you started off at Velcom usenza law. Yes. You've got that mind. You are sharp, and you could not finish that. Moved to Cape Town, and I'm happy that you have decided to go back to school. Second year, social work, UWC. So one of these days, Sizakubona, we Deputy Minister of Social Development. Yeah?
Yes, but
or more.
I want to be like, as soon as I'm done with my degree, I really need to do masters and because I want to be involved in policy change. Because now that Denza is social work, I wanted to just help people here. Go I realized the policies that are there to help people.
Fishing waters.
Yes,
yeah.
The policies that are here to help people, they are not relevant. They are not helping people at all. So I want to go into the policy changing. Yeah, but so yeah.
Advocacy.
Advocacy, yes. So
because
yes.
that's the concept we used to work with, if you remember that. The relief,
yes.
Development, advocacy. And I hear you, you are saying relief is good, but it's not good enough.
No.
Development is good, but it's not good enough. Change the environment, the policy that enables. And this. Zim, tell us just briefly why this career?
Oh, I think okay, no. I think the reason I'm mumbling, it's not because I do not have an answer. It's because I've always thought about Indian Lando. It's just in my character. It's just in who I am. I think the first time I realized for umtu was when ekhaya kukhohlakele utata is very strict, asikwazi as friends or anything, so you cannot just go out ubuye so ubuya nomuntu. So we were sense umntana okanye ubuye like come back with a friend uye esikolweni and then kube ku friend yakho that says ndizovisita. That didn't happen ekhaya. We didn't have friends zakho ziphele esikolweni. So but urealize kwami ke into ba hayi man xa sendicinga ngoko ebudaleni but no, it has always been in me ukunceda abantu. We went out Nkosi Thunya shop. I think I was 9. Nkosi was I think 6 or 7 or 2. But ke sibuya e shop and then we see this child. Okay, sidlulile kulomntana. Ngoba sisiya shop and then we come back again. Lo mntana uselapha. Ndithi ndimbuza ungubani uhlala phi akazazi uhlala phi na. Okay, masambe. Nkosi Johnson masambe nje undinika amehlo ba sihambe siyaphi naye uzofika umthini ekhaya. Sihambe manje naye ngiko hayi uzohlala esitrato nathini because uhleli ngakwindawo enomgqobhozo namanzi so uzohlala lapha zekuthini ayenza sense kuyanetha so mbethe thina ingubo siphethwe neumbrella ezincinci like yena akanayo nejezi so ndimthathe ke xa sifike ekhaya ndimbeka apha phandle singene thina eyadini ndingene ndibulise tata yakhumbula sa story saseBhayibhelini wasifundele sona ndizenza ke ngoku yaqonda ba ndingena kwimudi yasekhaya tata sikhulisa story saseBhayibhelini wasifundele sona somuntu owahamba kwadlula umlevi wamshiya, kwadlula umpristi wamshiya, but omnye umuntu yena wamnceda laa mntu. Ewe athi asicacise kaphinda asicacise kakuhle. Gqono ngoku sicacisayo bra ndinalo icebo khawulezisa ndiyayazi le nto ndithetha ngayo. Ndithi yazi Kitana sithe ngoku sihambe seshop nonkosi uDingane, that's our neighbor. uDingane kukho umntana ohleli ecani kwamanzi kuyanetha kanxiba nejezi. uDingane wadlula kuye njengomlevi weza noRasilimani, that's another boy. Weza
uRasilimani noDingane.
Weza uRasilimani wacezela naye njengomlevi. Thina nonkosi saqonda sinawukwazi singilaa mntu wasebhayibhileni samthatha tata ulapha phandle. Then Nyameko, abantwana bakho Nyameko. Mama ke azosabela. Kitha lithi kukho umntana lapha phandle khe ndiqala isitori sami kakuhle. Ndize ngeBhayibhile like ndize ngemithetho yasekhaya ndize ngeBhayibhile nohlobo nisifundise ngalo oRasilimani ngabalevi barongo bona. Thina singabantu baseBhayibhileni aba-right. So now growing up I'm thinking but zininzi ke incidents ezinjalo classmate obenengxaki nomamakhe, then I would still ekuseni xa begqiba uphangela abazali azohlamba apha ekhaya ayina apha ekhaya then siyolungisa esikolweni buye atye and all of those things. So I have always been into relief burden emntwini. Once umuntu abe sengxakini I've always wanted to help. Into LLB ke it was a status thing for my father when I did it, and noba ke esikolweni everyone else was saying clever, but I've always known uba ndifuna uba social worker and I want to make a difference ebomini bomntu. There's no andikwazi ubona umntu, ndiyazi abantu abaninzi bayayithetha le nto ke ibe ngathi cliche into yoba I love helping people, but kum iba ngumthwalo. Ubundixelela into mna I want to solve it. Ubuthetha isitori sakho I'm finding ways. Izolo ndidibene noShialo and une-issue yoba ufuna une-research. Automatically I connected him nomfundisi umayekisi uba no yabona. So I've always been there. So and ne-bad experience ke with social development on personal matters, on matters ezithile. Even that I was like I need to come, I need to be in this space. Noba indawo encika kanana that I can occupy in this space, it would make a difference.
Yeah.
So that's why social work is like
you're a good storyteller.
It's always been there.
And you're a good storyteller, Zim. I've enjoyed our time together. You enriched my life, the work that I'm involved in, and partnered with me. I know that we continue in our relationship even at this stage. So I want to thank you officially for the work you've done to build Kilombo and to be there in those early days, those difficult days. You've been through the fire with us, you know. And so this was Zimkitha Zilo Macengulashe, from a member of Kilombo, but also a woman of stature and grace, a beautiful human being. Thank you so much, Zim.
Thank you. Yeah, and blushes.
All righty then.